Peace, peace, peace. Peace kings, peace queens. It's your boy B.O.L.O. bringing other legends over. Shooting another video once again. I want to address the Joe Rogan situation. Seems like that's the next hot topic. Usually I don't like to make videos based upon what's trending, but it seems like that's the only time people are paying attention. So makes no sense to speak if the classroom is not listening. So basically Joe Rogan is under fire because they say he was using the N-word excessively throughout his career, and they put a snippet together where it was like they edited out the context of how the word was being used, and they kind of showed you him saying the word, you know, like the N-word this, and you know, and the N-word that. And then they had a video clip at the end where he was walking into the Planet of the Apes movie, and then he said something about, you know, he entered in the Planet of the Apes, like he was saying it was Africa. You know, I walked up in there and it really was the Planet of the Apes because it was full of black people. Listen, my reaction and my take to that is I think we are living in a generation that is way too sensitive. Way too sensitive. I'm by no means excusing his behavior if his context was meant to hurt people's feelings. If his, you know, if in context he was using the word to hurt people's feelings and to bring people to a place where they are lower than him in a racist tone, then I'm fully and totally against it. When I looked at the snippet, it seemed that he was using it in the context that was not speaking to people. Meaning, okay, for example, if I say, you know, they went over there and I can't believe that they were calling those black people the N-word. That's the context he was saying it in. He was saying, you know, they you know, we went around a bunch of racist people, and they you know, they were using the word, you know, N-word, but saying it excessively. So that's different from him saying, you know, them ends over there or those ends over there. So a lot of times we got to keep things in context, and then we have to take to account as well that not only is he running a podcast, he is also a comedian. Now that adds more layers to it, because when you dealing with comedians, you dealing with people with a different world and a different mind. They use every situation to try to be funny. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes that could get twisted when you're dealing with politics and you're dealing with comedy. So you got to understand that if you don't understand politics and you don't understand comedy, then you're going to always take offense to what people say. Now, again, like I said, I'm not excusing the behavior, but my reaction to it, the reason why I say people are too sensitive, basically about the wrong things, is because, I mean, me personally, I'd rather be called an N-word, and I would say the word, but, you know, I don't want to get flagged on YouTube. I would rather be called the N-word than to be treated like the N-word. And I think our people gotta rise up and stand up and start to stop maximizing the minimal things in life. Stop maximizing things that don't get you nowhere. We've been talking about the N-word. I'm using that. To me, that is a distraction. You know, you got a better argument talking about reparations than to sit here talking about the N-word. We've been talking about the N-word Ever since the N-word was the N-word. But have we gotten anywhere? And are we going to get anywhere continuing to harp on hurt feelings about the N-word? We're not getting anywhere, guys. We're not getting anywhere. Constantly worried about somebody. I don't care if you use the word. You just don't call it. Don't try to hurt me with the word or address me with the word. But again, like I said, I would rather that I would be called the N-word than to be treated the N-word. Because see, if you call me something that I know I'm not, it doesn't affect me. But when you treat me like that and you put it in policies and you stop me from getting jobs and then you stop me from drinking from the water fountains and you say that you can't go to these schools and you say that you can't live, gentrifying and say you can't live in these neighborhoods, now we have a problem because now you take away my job from me. Now we have a problem because you're affecting my life. You're affecting my livelihood. You're using racial discrimination to stop me from moving. A person's words don't stop me from moving. And let me tell you, the ignorant are easily offended. I'm talking too much. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to say it one more time so y'all can digest it. The ignorant are easily offended. I could go so many dimensions and directions with that word, the N-word. First of all, if you go to Africa, they got a whole country called Niger. And if you say it without proper context, or you just say it, it's going to look like Niger. And then you got Nigeria. And then you have in Ethiopia where they use the word niggas to mean royalty, to mean a royal prince. So depending upon the context of how you use the word, like any word, it becomes damaging or it becomes uplifting and validating. You understand? It's all about context, guys. Every word, everything is all about context. When you take things out of context, you will always be offended. Ignorance always takes things out of context. Now, am I giving Joe Rogan a pass? Am I saying he shouldn't use the word? Me personally, I really don't care, because if you even look at the movies, we have certain movies where where's this guy? What's this guy's name? Man, the Dusk Till Dawn. That man, with Jamie Foxx, where man, the movies where Quentin Tarantino. There you go. Man, he uses the word excessively throughout all his movies, and he has all his people constantly calling black people directly the N-word. Directly the N-word. But we don't get pissed about it or say anything about it. Why? Because it's in theater or movie form. Because it's in a different context. But listen, that context is more disturbing because they directly call black people that name and that word. When I looked at the snippets, it seemed that he was using the N-word in reference to, saying that other people was saying the N-word or calling us the N-word, but he would just say the whole word. You know what I'm saying? But again, I digress. The ignorance is easily offended, and I'm in a place right now that I'm for much more. I'm for reparation of my people. Now, will we ever get reparations? Will we ever get giving back the blood, sweat, and the tears of our ancestors who slaved for 400 years and didn't receive payment for our generations? Most likely not. But some people say, well, then why are you waiting for it? Why are you looking forward to it? To me, I feel it's ignorant not to, because it's not about receiving the reparations. It's about the mindset. How are different nations receiving money because of war crimes, but you don't accept to receive for the pain and the destruction of your people? The pain and the destruction of my people will never be forgotten. And I'm always going to expect payment for it. It's my duty. It's my job. It's who I am as a man. You can't do nothing to my family and think that it's going to be okay, because every time I see you, I'm going to want payment for that. And you are ignorant as a black person if you sitting up there feeling like you don't want to receive because of how your ancestors sacrificed. You should have a mentality that I want that. I want apology. I want everything that you stole from my people. Period. That's a mentality. Again, I'd rather be called an N-word than to be treated like one. And we maximizing the wrong things. We worrying about what Joe Rogan is saying instead of asking ourselves, well, why now? Because he started talking about the vaccines, because he started pulling out facts about the vaccines and it made certain people uncomfortable, or because he was talking to Jordan Peterson and you know they can't stand him. You got to ask yourself, why now? Just like with the Bill Cosby situation. You wait 30 years and then you come conveniently. Was it really a crime? If you're going to wait this long, is it really a crime? If you're going to wait this long, did it really offend people the way they say it did? Because when something offends you, it don't take that long. It don't take that long for you to say something when somebody is constantly offending you. He used that word sporadically, not in reference to, and people need to really stop taking things out of context. So again, I'm not giving them a pass, but I am addressing different situations about how the powers that be pick and choose when they want to administer justice. And then they always want to administer justice when it's beneficial to them. It's beneficial to them right now, to CNN, because he's getting more views and likes than CNN. And he's giving them a hard time. So they want to get rid of Joe Rogan. They have their own personal agenda as to why they want to get rid of him. But it has nothing to do with the fact that they care about black people. And see, this is what boils my onions, fam. Word is born. You got to be intelligent enough to understand, black man, black woman. In this country, they don't really care about you to the degree that you think they do. They pick and choose when to administer justice. Like R. Kelly, for example. R. Kelly has been a known pedophile since I was 15 years old. I'm 42. So that's 17 years already. No. 22 years. 22 years ago, he was already married to Aaliyah, and she was about 14, 15 years old at the time. So you tell me why it took just last year for them to put him in jail. But they knew all the while that he was doing what he was doing. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. They choose to administer so-called justice when it benefits them. To me, that's not justice. To me, then I question, is it a crime really? Is it a crime really? Or do more people need to go to prison because of the actions of certain individuals? So I digress. Joe Rogan, no, you can't use the word to offend people. As I overlooked the clips, I looked over the clips, I don't think that's what you were trying to do. When I also look at, see, I have a very objective way of looking at everything. I don't just judge people according to my feelings and my emotions and, you know, I'm hurt now, so, you know, I hang them high. And I'm going to really look into the subject matter and really ask myself, is this genuine? Did he genuinely try to hurt people by what he was saying? And I say no. I was kind of taken back by the monkey thing, the monkey joke. That's on him. That's why I'm kind of 50-50. The monkey joke was a little bit over the top. You know what I mean? You know, you saw about you walking in and it was Africa and you calling people, you know, monkeys or whatever like that. But then again, the reason why I kind of knocked down to 25% is because he's a comedian, and comedians say crazy stuff sometimes. And they're not saying it to hurt anybody. They're saying it to be funny. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh man, you know, we walked in there in the Planet of the Apes, and it really was a Planet of the Apes, man. I was the only white people in there. That sound like something that he would say on a stage. So again, I don't know from what context he was doing it from, or he was trying to be funny. He doesn't strike me to be a racist type of individual. Again, I'm not giving him a pass. So again, we got to get over this minimal mentality where we just harping on stuff that's getting us nowhere. The N-word, we could keep talking about the N-word. That word ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. We want to say, listen, you know, my Caucasian brothers and sisters, if you know that word is going to cause your brother to stumble, then don't use it. It's in the Bible. In the Bible, it tells you if you know that this person is a vegetarian and you're going to offend him by eating meat in his face, then don't do it. What's offensive to one person is not offensive to another. Treat your neighbor the way you want to be treated. Step out of your body and for a minute and become the people around you. Become all things to all men. You understand? Look around. If you know you're going to offend people, then why you want to offend it? If you know that certain black people are sensitive to the use of the N-word, then why would you use the N-word to offend them? Just don't use it around them. Use it around people who don't care about it. This is common sense. This is common sense. You're not going to dictate language in the way people talk. It's not going to happen. But you can dictate how you treat people when you go around them. I have respect for myself, therefore I have respect for everybody around me. You understand? And as much as we want to say we don't see color, you lying, because we all see difference. We all see difference. Doesn't mean you hate, but you see difference. You see, oh, that's a willow tree and that's a oak tree. You see difference. You could tell that we're different in complexion, or we're different in, you know, body type, but we all see difference. But what we have to do is to see the same way and match up those things that we are more alike than we are different. And that's a mentality, to realize that human beings are more alike than they are different. It doesn't matter if you look at a Chinese man, a white man, a black man, you are more alike than you are different. Now you could highlight the differences, but you are more alike than you are different. And I don't think none of us are in a position where we're going to go before the judgment seat of the Almighty God and tell him about what he should have created and when he should have created and how he should have created. A lot of us are going to be looking real stupid talking about color standing before the Most High. A lot of us, we need to be talking about our lives and getting ourselves right so that we can present ourselves before him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to be focused on. So this N-word stuff, this is petty. All of it is petty. It's not getting us anywhere. Again, I think reparations is a better topic. It's what Martin Luther King got killed for. If you want to talk about stuff like that, you want to really get deep, you want to get somewhere, let's talk about getting some reparations. If we're not going to do that, then just don't talk about it at all. I don't understand the point of talking about white supremacy and racism and what the white man did, how he's holding me down. If you ain't really trying to go get the bag, if you're not really trying to go get what is owed to our people, then just shut up. And they don't need to talk about it. There's no need to continue to harp about something that's getting us nowhere. That word is not getting us nowhere. They've been talking about the N-word forever. I don't even mean to harp on it, but they've been harping on it for centuries. You call me the N-word. Come on, man. Come on, man. Have we gotten anywhere with that? We haven't gotten anywhere with that. We put hands on people. We done did a whole lot of things, and we still in the same condition. We're still economically enslaved. We still socially enslaved. We still politically enslaved. We still are not a nation. You know what I'm saying? We're still captive. You know what I'm saying? To the United States of America. We're still in captivity. The only thing free about us is our bodies. Everything else, somebody else own it. Now prove me wrong on that. Yeah. So I digress. I say that to say this. I hope I didn't offend anybody by my comments, but realize one thing. You're not sitting here, so keep it in context. Yo, this is B.O.L.O, man. I'm out. Peace.